Hello and welcome to Dishing Delights. My name is Jenica and today I'm going to share with you another What's for Dinner video. This week was another week filled with easy and delicious dinners, so let's get into it. Alright, the first thing I am going to do is take this chicken out. It's like half frozen, I think. The chicken was indeed still frozen, so I let it finish thawing for a few hours. I pulled the chicken apart and then I added some garlic and herb seasoning all over those chicken wings along with some avocado oil. I made sure to toss them a few times to make sure that every inch was coated, and then I set them aside while I prepped my veggies. For my veggies, I took out a giant zucchini that needed to be used. I sliced that into bite-sized pieces, and then I did the same thing with a few russet potatoes. As you can see here, I added my veggies to a well-oiled cast iron skillet. This is my favorite way to prepare veggies in the summer because if my husband last minute wants to throw dinner on the grill, the cast iron skillet can go on the grill as well. I know that that's controversial, but I have been doing it for years and I have yet to have a cast iron skillet crack. I also diced up an onion and added that to my veggies, as well as a mild pepper that had a little bruise on it, so it needed to be used up. I'm really going to be sad because my countertop is starting to have less and less veggies on top of it, and I'm just going to be counting down those days until it's garden seasoning next year. I can just tell already. I'm also adding in that garlic and herb seasoning. This has become my favorite seasoning. We had a friend buy us this bottle of it, and I'm going to try to buy a big bottle of it because it is so delicious. McCormick just knows how to make their seasoning. So now I'm going to slide that twisted tea out of the way and add all of these delicious wings to this pan. I'm going to toss the sheet pan right into the oven at 400 degrees and cook them until they are completely cooked through, but of course I will flip them halfway through. And after about 45 minutes, my veggies are done. And after about 55 minutes, my chicken is completely browned. And then we just served this super simple dinner up. This was so delicious. And we ended up having chicken for the next day for lunch and for the evening the next night. We love cooking up chicken wings because they reheat so well in the air fryer. And that is tonight's super delicious dinner. The next night I ended up making mini meatloafs with baked potatoes and green beans fresh from the garden. To start off, I took 1 small onion and 1 pound of mushrooms, and I just sauteed all of those until they were completely browned. And I added this into the meatloafs because I was making mushroom Swiss meatloafs. All right, my husband has been craving some meatloaf, so I sauteed up 1 small onion and a whole pound of diced mushrooms. Sauteed those up in a little bit of avocado oil, a little bit of salt. Now I'm letting those cool. I'm going to shred some Swiss cheese. I'm going to make mushroom and Swiss meatloaf, and then we'll put our meatloaf all together and make some mini meatloafs. All right, we have our cheese all shredded up. What I'm going to do is make the mixture for the top of my meatloaf. I am going to be using 1 part ketchup, 1 part barbecue sauce. That's 2/3 cup of that sauce. If I need some more sauce, I'll just add more barbecue. All right, I'm going to set that aside. Now I have my 2 pounds of ground beef right here. I'm going to cut these open and add them to my bowl. Now these are extra lean, so we got to keep that in mind. It's not going to be a super fatty meatloaf. All right, now that I have clean hands, I'm going to crush up the rest of this package of Ritz crackers. Now I don't want to add too many crackers. We have the Ritz. We have some garlic powder I'm going to add. Some Worcestershire sauce. Some pepper. A little bit of salt. That cheese. Now I'm going to scramble up 2 eggs. These are really small eggs. Add that in. And then a little bit of that sauce mixture. And this is when we're going to add in the mushrooms. And now I have this mixture. I have an oiled pan. I just put some avocado oil, smeared it all over, and we are going to make some mini meatloaves. So I formed them into 11 mini meatloaves. This is the easiest way to do it because my husband sees a big old loaf of meatloaf. He's eating that whole loaf. There's no portion control. So I'm just going to take the rest of this and I'm going to spread it all on top of the meatloaves, and then we're going to toss it in the oven. Plus it's really nice when you do it this way because they cook a little bit faster. I just realized I didn't add any mustard to this like I usually do, but that's perfectly fine. Some of these bigger ones I'm going to make extra saucy. Nice. Now we have 11 mini meatloaves. I'm going to toss them in the oven at 400 degrees until they are fully cooked through. And right here you were seeing one of the 2 dinners that I got to serve beans with, because apparently even if you put over 80 plants in, you do not get many green beans. At least I didn't this year. But next year, I am determined to at least have 4 dinners worth. So I'm going to wash my beans, check on my meatloaf, and then I'm going to start some instant potatoes. All right, my husband called and said he was going to be a little bit later because he had to go bid a job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some baked potatoes since I have the time. I just took my potatoes, sliced them with a fork, and I'll bake these at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes, I'll flip them and keep them in for 25 to 30 more minutes. All right, let's see where we're at with these. I'm gonna put them in for a few more minutes. Oh, look at those. They ended up taking about 38 minutes. And I'm going to let these cool down as my potatoes cook. And then I'll fry up my green beans in a little bit of butter. All right, in this pan that I fried up those mushroom and onions, I'm going to fry up these green beans. And there are delicious potatoes. Our beans are cooked. Our meatloaf is cooked. Now let's serve up some dinner. I am going to load up my husband's plate. So I'll give him 2 of these meatloafs. And that is what's for dinner. This looks so delicious. For the next meal, I made chicken burrito bowls. All right, I just added some avocado oil and some of this roasted garlic and herb seasoning to my chicken. I put it in the air fryer for 12 minutes on 350. I'm going to flip them and put them in until they're all the way cooked through. All right, right here we have 2 parts water for 1 part rice. I'm going to rinse this rice. Now to add in my rice, just a little bit of avocado oil. And now we are going to bring this to a boil, reduce the heat, and then let it cook for 45 minutes. All right, now that it's boiling, I'm going to cover it and lower the temp just a little bit. And here is what my chicken looks like. I'm just gonna set it in the oven on warm while the rice finishes up cooking. All right, the rice here has 5 minutes left. Right here I have a little bit of butter, just under a tablespoon. I have some corn that I drained. I'm going to add a little bit of Cajun seasoning to that corn. And then I'm just going to let that cook up until my rice is ready. I'm actually just going to turn the heat off on the rice, let it sit here for 3 more minutes, and then everything should be cooked. All right, now I'm just going to add this chicken back into all of its delicious juices. And now that the rice is ready, we're going to construct our bowls. Just going to fluff up my rice. I'm going to add some salt to it and some pepper. And I'm going to make our rice bowls. Now I am going to add some cheese to his and a little bit of sour cream, and I'm going to serve mine with a little cup of guacamole. And then you can just serve this with some hot sauce, and that's what's for dinner. That looks delicious. For the next meal, I made firecracker chicken. All right, I'm going to make some firecracker chicken. So the first thing I'm going to do is grate up some ginger. This is just fresh ginger, probably a couple teaspoons. This is only for 3 chicken breasts. And then I'm going to add some soy sauce. I'm just putting in what I think is good. I'll leave a recipe down below. Some garlic. Some red pepper flakes. I need to make some brown sugar, so I'm going to add some maple syrup instead. Just a couple, maybe 2 tablespoons of it. Whoa. Some sriracha. I also added in some salt and pepper. I'm going to mix the bag and let this set for a few hours or up to overnight. For my vegetables this night, I just did the same thing as I did before, and I just chopped up a bunch of vegetables, added it to the cast iron skillet, and we added it to the grill later on that night. All right, I have my marinated chicken here. I left it marinating overnight. And I have this big old cast iron skillet filled up with veggies. My husband has the grill going. I'm going to run this out to the grill. It's actually sprinkling outside. And then I will show you what it looks like when all of this is cooked up. All right, this is the final product. He ended up smoking these chicken breasts, so they're gonna be super delicious. We're gonna keep it super simple tonight. Some firecracker chicken and some veggies. And that is what's for dinner tonight. And for my dinner last night, I decided to make a simple stir fry. I had cabbage in the fridge and it needed to be used up, so I sliced up a bit of that, started to fry that up in a bit of butter. I love making stir fries because you can just toss in any and everything and it is so tasty every single time. So I added in my cabbage, I added in some butter, and I started cooking that cabbage down. I then added in some salt, some minced onion, and some minced garlic. And then after that, I added a little bit of water to like really get this process going. I was impatient this day. You know, sometimes you just have evenings like that where you're like, I just need to get dinner on the table now. So I got all of that and then I added in my rice. I don't know what is wrong with me right now. I'm feeling out of it. So I added in my rice. And don't forget, if you are making stir fry, it has to be cold rice. I am then adding in 3 eggs and scrambling those in. Once you add in the eggs, all you really have to add in is sesame oil. I added some sesame oil, some soy sauce, and a bit of rice wine vinegar. Those are the 3 things that I always add into my stir fries. And then I added in my chicken, and it's pretty much done. Although I was looking at this and I was like, this needs something else. So I added in a can of mushrooms because we are a mushroom family. We will eat mushrooms in any and everything. So I tossed in some mushrooms, added a bit more soy sauce, and that was our dinner for tonight. It was super simple, super easy, super delicious. If you watch my What's for Dinner videos, there's a 50-50 chance that there's going to be a fried rice day. Just toss some sriracha on top and we have a winner chicken dinner over here. Thank you so much for watching this What's for Dinner video. Sorry, this voiceover, I got a little funky. I am just probably over caffeinated. That's probably what it is. So if you like this video, please hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you so much for watching.